All right. Hello. I was trying to get it to launch and do its thing, and it was like, I don't think so. Anyways, we are live now. So, and pop my picture back over here. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. All right. I forgot to turn my other monitor on, so my reference photo is like over there. I have to move things. Give me just one moment. With these tiny, short little arms to go with my short little self. All right. It's like, it's not on yet. Here we go. What on earth? There we go. Okay, sorry. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Now I have the picture that I was like, in case we have time, I wanted to make sure that I was prepared. All right. So, yes, Joseph is on his cell phone today because you're getting your upgrade for your internet. Tara is here and you are, I'm like, I look frazzled. Like, holy. Okay. Tara is here after dealing with her move. She wasn't with us last week. George Pencil Art is here. Hello, George. Hello to anybody else who is watching, but I'm like not seeing that the stream is like going. So I'm just gonna hold for a all's good thumbs up. And yours is hit and miss. Yeah, Tara's is hit and miss. So moderators are gonna be excuse me. Moderators are going to be doing their best. Hi, Dylan. All right. I don't know what just caused that. But it was like all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. I didn't do my inhaler before. Thank you, George. Okay, perfect. I didn't grab my inhaler before I went live, so fun stuff. We'll get through it. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I am filling. I realized that I didn't link something I was going to show you in the description. I was trying to get that updated real quick, which it is now. So unless I grab something strange that I wasn't planning on, everything should be linked in the description below. Today I am going to be looking at the Canson dry mixed media paper. We're going to look at that again, only this time not charcoal. This time we're doing that with pastels. Wow, did you see it? It just like mine went completely blank there for a second. I need a pipette. Does anybody have a pipette? Oh my gosh. Oh, Joseph, your package is still sitting here. Did not go out yet. I didn't realize that I wasn't going to have my Jeep. And then when I was going to go mail it, I went to leave and I was like, oh, my Jeep's not here. Lou took it and dropped it off so it could get inspected. Yeah. And then I'm filling my brush with some alcohol as we're saying hello and letting people join in. So I didn't get off yet. And then I had to help out a family member. So it's been a week. It's been a week, guys. Ah, just one or two. Yeah. Dylan has a few pipettes. I hear Joseph has pipettes now, too. Pipettes for everybody. Okay. So I was just putting some more alcohol in my brush pen. We'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about all of that as we go. I have some in my mister. Putting some on here because I saw something and I wanted to give it a try. Of course I wanted to give it a try. I have to try it for myself. All right. And I know this month, if you are new to pastels or you just want more tips about pastels, if you already follow her channel, then you already know Lindsay is doing pastel month. So September is pastel month for her, and or at least it is this year. And so she is doing like all things pastels. So, and it's not gonna be like all her videos, but some of her videos are. I think she just released one today. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet because I've been getting ready for the stream today. All right. So, behind the Canson XL dry mixed media paper, sand grain. I have gray and I have the natural, which if you saw the art haul I just did, I ordered this way. I ordered the 11 by 14 size, and I got both colors in that. And then of course, I'm going to actually set this, I think, to this side. It'll be easier for me to get a hold of that again. And then behind me is the 9 by 12 size that I got in my palette for Picks box that I shared with you guys last month. Wow. So what do I have today? I have, oh no. I just realized I left something sitting here on my water cup. It was sitting there like to dry. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be sitting there to dry. I just used one of these. I was making something special for patrons. I'll share that with you. I'll share that with you in just a little bit. It was really cute. Okay. Yeah, so Joseph is on his phone. So Joseph's not going to be able to tag people, and he's not going to be dropping like the links and stuff. But Tara, who hopefully will maintain all of her connection, and she will have links and stuff that pop up for you guys in the chat. So today I wanted to look at the Canson. I have a small piece right here, and of course the 9 by 12 is right there behind me. Let's talk about pastels. We're going to see how this paper works on, how pastels work on this paper. Dylan's also on her phone. We have lots of people on their phone today. Wow. You guys can't see the desk, so let's see. I guess like there's some new additions going on back there. Look at my little, it's this side. See him? A little elephant. Succulent right there. Well, his bowl's elephant. I thought he was just the cutest thing. All right, let's look at what we're using with this. So pastels. I'm going to take this down to the desk. There we go. Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent, Joseph. All right, so I have the 20 color, the Painting Pure Colors. If you're not sure or not familiar with what that means, I'll go over all of that. But this is linked in the description. So I just wanted to take this away, and I can show you what comes in the 20 color set. So Painting Pure Colors. With pan pastels, there are a lot of pan pastels available. They are this is the 20 painting set. Now when you get this set, it's going to come with the sponge for blending. I don't know how we're going to feel about that. I did link to these in the description. So there's the soft sponge, 2Fs, and this is by same company as Pan Pastels. If you haven't tried these or want to see what other shapes and sizes are available, there is a link for you. Now, Pan Pastels. Let me just pull these tubes out so that I can show you what you're getting. So in here as well, you can have two, and I already put covers on these because I had extra covers. And I was forgetting the covers are in here. I'm like, why do I not have covers? Surely they gave me covers. I just grabbed some other ones they have. They do. They're in the bottom. All right. Now I can get rid of this box. Space is so limited. And that will bring me to the next thing that I have. And it is linked below. Whoa. All right. With your pan pastels, the set comes like this. You buy them in a set. That is the set of 20 painting colors. You're just seeing a glare off of my stuff up there, but right? The pure colors. You can also purchase them individually. Blick carries all of them. There's a link below for that. And that's excellent jokes. Okay, and then you can purchase them individually. Now this one is orange shade. What that means is in your, that's open now. So in your pan pastels, this one is orange. This is orange shade. And is it hue? Orange hue? I'm pretty sure it's hue. But all of a sudden my brain said, wait a minute, is that right? And I do not like to give out information if it's not correct. Like, please tell me. Tint. Tint. Thank you. Wow. So we have shade and tint. Tint has more white added to it. So it's just orange. When you go orange tint, it's orange with white. So it's a paler color, but they're already mixed for you. You don't have to mix them. It's a convenience thing. When you go shade, this is orange that has had black added to it. You have the shade is darker. And then they have like the dark, extra dark, which is just how much more black is added. So you can really go down the rabbit hole of buying pastels. Or you can get, wow, you can get the painter set, which is just the pure pigments, and then you can kind of mix those up yourself and blend them, bring them lighter or darker. Nice. Having some oh, see, tea sounds good. I was freezing earlier today. And I was going to get another coffee or something, and I didn't. So here you see this also in your set. So you'll get, here's some little applicators. And wedge, again, soft tool. Okay. I'm going to put the little applicators. I'm only going to leave one out just in case. I'm putting the other ones in there. I have a brush here. I have some other stuff up on my desk that I may use, just brushes, regular brushes. So will I use these today? I'm not sure. Now these all screw together. Once this is unscrewed, this is open. They also have, and when you go to the next color, it's open. They also sell, just showing you the rest of the soft, there's the covers. So you have the covers that are the squared off end, and then the covers that are the round, oh, that is another sponge, but the rounded ends are in there. And then we have this guy. So there's another shape as well. Hello, Jacqueline. Thanks for joining us. And I'll just put out there too, I recently, if you saw it when you logged on, I don't know if everybody saw it. I know I could see it. And it said I turned on basically like subscriber mode. In order to participate in the live chatting community we have going on here every Thursday, you have to be subscribed to the channel. Now, why did I do that? One, if you have to be subscribed to the channel, we're kind of experimenting here because I had talked to Joseph about it, and I said, you know, I'm going to find out. We're going to figure it out because I wasn't sure if I wanted that to be on or not on, and I've noticed that there's been a lot of like, I'll see it kind of the subscriber thing fluctuating a little bit right now. And I didn't want to make that worse because, you know, obviously my goal I've shared with you guys is to get to the 1,000 subscriber point, hoping by my birthday month, which is coming in just a few months. So anyhow, the reason that I turned on subscriber mode is not to force people to subscribe, but because also as I get closer to that number and I can monetize and such, it seems like we were seeing, it hasn't been as bad lately, but we were seeing a lot of bots popping in and having to delete them. Like I know when I mod for Joseph, sometimes we've got to deal with all the bots. When I couldn't even imagine if Lisa was streaming, like what we would have dealt with, you know, because we were mods for Lisa's channel. I can't even imagine how much would be popping in there. So in an effort to curb that and help the overall experience in chat, I decided to make it so that they have to be subscribed, because I don't think the bots are subscribing. They're just dropping in wherever they can drop in and trying to push a bunch of stuff. So that is why that was turned on, and it's just mostly in an effort to make the overall experience remain pleasant. And yeah, it's free. So it's free. If you're not subscribed, click that button, ring the bell, get notified, notifications, no extra charge. So, you know, you'll get notified every time I'm live. So let's get back to it. The pan pastels. I just wanted to make sure I explained why I did that. All right. So the pan pastels, you can get these. It's a palette. This is the palette tray and cover. So now I can cover all of my, there was 20 in my set. So now I can take this and I can cover all of my pastels. But if you see here, this is rather large. I didn't think this through when I ordered this. They also sell them in 10s, and you're like seeing my camera like reflecting down there, a part of my camera rig. But they also sell this in 10. And a 10 is about this large. Same width, if you would. Then I guess that would become the height on the 10. But it's about like the 3 wide, 4 tall. And they just have them kind of in the middle. So they're like here and here. Kind of, anyways, they're in a different shape on that one. But that's the size of it. That would have fit on my desk so much better. So I haven't decided, am I going to put these in here? Am I going to use this? I'm sure I'm going to use it, but will I use it maybe if I get like extra colors? And I don't know. I might get a 10 just to, I might get like these to store them so I can just kind of like stack them neatly and store them all, because they will, like you see, there's like a bump here, so you can nest them. And then on the back side, these are smooth, but this one has a little indent to accept that so that they can't slide and move around. So you can get those to store your pastels. And of course you don't have to. I did link that below, both the 20 and the 10. And you can, same thing. You can just pick your palette and set them loosely on your desk. Which is what we'll end up having to do today. But now I'm going to have to go through and show you like go through all the different colors, like which color is where, I don't know. And there's like only one lid. Now, if they came with where they could all have a lid versus screwing into each other, it's, see, it's like really yellow. Wow. So anyhow, there you go. Pan pastels. I'm just going to set these up here for now. The other thing I got, this is the Payne's Gray. Yeah. And this one was Burnt Sienna Tint. So I ordered a tint, and funny story. So I had them on my desk, and I knocked one down, and I like fumbled and fumbled and fumbled, and I caught it. I actually caught it. I could not believe I caught the thing. These haven't even been opened yet, but I actually caught it before it landed on the floor. Set it on my desk, turned around, and it fell off my desk. So it's like, whoever gets to watch the comedy that is my life is, yeah. So it broke, but that's okay. I can fix it. I mean, I know how to fix it. I know how to repair them, so I'm not worried about that. I just haven't done it yet. I also got the colorless blender, so if I want to blend them without actually adding white in, so I got that. Yes, George, exactly. Oh, I'm glad you said that. If you order them individually, like I did for this one, they all have a lid. If you get them in the set, you get lids on the top, and they're all screwed together. No extra lids in the back and in the box. So how do I feel about that? I don't even know right now. I don't know. And I got the orange shade, which I showed you before. And the reason that I got these was I do like a lot of landscape type painting, and I figured burnt sienna, having the tint of that and having the shade of the orange, because I'm thinking fall. You see that fall color palette right there? And then, of course, I got the Payne's Gray to put in as well. And the colorless blender. Excuse me. Well, so there's that. The soft tools. Now, I have a set of soft tools. You guys have seen them before. So there are the different, if you order the package of soft tools, you get those 4 shapes. You can also get the replacement covers, and they look like this. These are linked below as well. So in addition to pan pastels, I wanted to test out, I'm just going to grab a couple. I'm not going to bring, well, I have pastel pencils. I showed you these as well. How about if I turn it around? The soft pastels. These are the Mungyo soft pastels. This is the set of 24, and I ordered, but it's not here yet. And I don't know if that's what's coming today, but it still hasn't, it's not here yet. So these are the Mungyo soft pastels. I just ordered a pastel holder. I don't know if I linked the pastel holder in the description. I think I did, but mine just is delayed. It did not arrive yet. And then, of course, if I can get them without dropping them, I have my Derwent pastels, which you can see I haven't even taken all of the little papers off yet so that I'd be able to sharpen them. When I got those, I got mine, there was a deal going on, and I looked at, it was either there was a deal or the set was priced, like the set of 24 was priced much higher. I have a feeling this is going to be like really, really dusty and fun for me today. But the set of 24 was like, if I looked at 24 individual pencils, it was cheaper. And that was on Blick. And so I was like, well, heck, if I can get them cheaper ordering the individuals from Blick. I was looking at what colors were in the 24 set. And I was like, you know, there's some colors I don't think I would use as often, but there are other colors that I would miss having. So I just ordered 24 or so colors that I knew I would probably want to have. And then I also had the Stabilo. I've shown you guys these before. The Carbothello pastel pencils. We'll just pop that open. And there they are. And of course, I used this one last October. Remember when I just ate the heck out of that one trying to sharpen it? And yeah, that was fun. Do you guys have a favorite sharpener for pastel pencils aside from a craft knife? Or is the craft knife your favorite way to just kind of whittle them to sharpen them? Let me know. Drop me a comment whether you're here in the chat now, live, or watching on the replay. What is your favorite sharpener to sharpen your pastel pencils? Because I'm getting ready to do, not only are we going to experiment today, but I'm getting ready to do a pastel piece for patrons for this month. And I know that's going to require, I will be using some pencils in that. So I know that that is going to require sharpening quite a few of them. So I would definitely am curious, what is your favorite sharpener that I'm not going to have my poor pencils just like disappear on me because they break. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to open this so that I can place these in here. I was really hoping that holder was going to come beforehand because I wasn't super thrilled about holding them. Now, I also, if you saw, and I did link this below, and I have seen other pastel artists that use the butcher's tray like this. They'll take their butcher's tray and they'll take an old towel and they'll put the towel in the butcher's tray, and especially if they have like the pastels are all in like the pastel drawers, which was, you know, the drawers like this. I'm not going to put those back there. I'll drop them. So the trays like this, and they just have all their pastels in it, and they'll pull their palette for what they're working on, and they'll set them in the butcher tray, like on a towel. So that's linked below. And in fact, the one that I linked below gives you options. So mine is about 7 by 11. Like that's, I know that that's 8 inches. So, and yeah, this is, it's 7 by 11. So this size here, I find good for my desk. Not currently, but usually. Usually this is good for my desk. But you might have more space than I do. And they definitely sell 2 other sizes. So if you would like to grab one of those, I use this. You guys have seen me. I'll use it for watercolor. I use the heck out of this palette. I love this palette. I actually have 2 of them. So I'm just going to put that aside for the moment. All right. So there's the stuff that I have to use to test this paper today. I'm going to set the soft pastels over here on this side. There we go. I have a reference if we have time. I was thinking, and this just made, I was like, I saw this and I was like, oh, look, it is the last of summer. That's what we would call our painting if we paint this. The last of summer. That is the last one. And actually, that should be the last of spring, if you think about it. So they bloom, and then they're flying all over the place for summer. But regardless, I just thought that might be nice and easy, and it definitely would show us how, like, if the white over the top after the fact, because I believe not going to be a problem. Guys, I haven't done a ton of work in pastels, so we're going to see. I'm just going to turn that back off for now. But that's the picture. All right. If you have questions, if there is something that you have been wanting to know on this Canson paper, what, if especially in relation to working with pastels, can you do blank? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's about, maybe you want to know, hey, how much am I going to be able to layer on that? We're going to check that out. How well is this blend? What can I use to blend? What can I use to blend? Things like, whatever. If you have a question, if there is something you've been wanting to know about the new Canson dry mixed media paper, do drop me a comment, because we're going to test this out. We're going to find out. I'm going to get a bigger sheet though, because when we test, I want to have more room to test out. So I'm just going to take this small sheet and tape it to my board, because if we have the time and we don't have too many questions, that's the one thing I don't like about the black tape. I can't see through it. So I don't know. And because I can't set this on a bigger mat, I need to get some that are in between this size. I love these little mats, but I need to get some that are in between for sure. Hi, Cats Art Picks. See, and the other thing, I figured most people that participate in the chat right now are already subscribed to the channel. So hopefully, I love having new folks join in and chat. And hopefully you don't mind subscribing to do so. You get to chat with the community, and I get to keep the bots away. I like to think that that's a win-win. All right, and I'm not going to tape this down like ridiculous, because if I do that picture I just showed you, I don't see that needing to be blended crazily or anything that would affect that. So I'm going to grab another sheet, and this, let me show you this in person. There is my lighthouse that I did, and because I have it in an archival sleeve, because this one I actually will sell, I just need to get it matted. The mat I had is not the correct size, and I don't have a cutter, so I need to get a mat cut to fit this. Anyhow, that is it. That's my lighthouse that I did. That was watercolor. That was done with Daniel Smith watercolors. This was for patrons. Patrons have this video available now. They can watch that and paint along. This one, of course, I just did this. That was from this month's Paletful Pack box. The video is on the channel. That one was a lot of fun. I need to get something other than my topiary to hold some of these little pieces up there. Oh, thank you, Cats Art Picks. I appreciate that. And that's the other thing too. When you're in the live chat, you can have your comments and questions featured during the stream. So, it's just an extra benefit that you get, and thank you for subscribing. Okay, I have to share with you this paper project that I've been doing this morning. That is one thing, like, it comes off, and the glue that they used on these, there we go, it's off. So I have, for patrons, I have an art supply tier. And so, spoiler alert, just letting you know now, spoiler alert for patrons on the art supply tier. I think they're done. I think I can open this up and take one out. So I got to use my new toy that Lou made me. Starving Artist Collective is not here right now to see this. I finally got it. I finally got it done. He's actually had it done for a while, but I finally got to use it. So this will take, and actually, if I show you, well, I just pulled out the 11 by 14 sheet. So if you see here, like you can't even see the whole thing. Can I back? I don't even know if I can back that out further. And I'm like, I got my camera positioned so that it's like, yeah, nope, I can't. All right. Anyways, on 11 by 14, you could easily do an 11 by 14 because that's what I told him. I was like, right there. See, I was like, I want to be able to do. Oh, the UPS man is here. I wanted to be able to do up to an 11 by 14 size. Let me show you what I have in here. So I made these yesterday and then this morning. I finished them. You just spin the little knobs. And this is a pad or block and book press. I think when I put it on, I put it, there we go. It's not wanting to come up. I'm not going to take it all the way. There we go. Okay. I'm just trying to slide out what's inside here so I don't have to take the whole lid off, and this can be a little quicker. So anyone who joins my Patreon this month, the month of September. All right, I'm going to try to set this down without it banging so I can show you. So anyone who joins my Patreon this month for the art supply sample tier, each month I will send out a different random art supply that I choose that I would like to share with you. And then along with that comes a video. So there's going to be a video that goes along with the supply, and then you get the supply, of course. This is what I just made. So these are Canson dry mixed media paper samples, and you get, there are 12 sheets, and see I even updated the front with all the information, and so you get 6 sheets of gray, 6 sheets of natural for 12 sheets, 5.5 by 7 or 14 by about 17.5 centimeters roughly. It was cut by human hand, so you know, some human error, but I got to use my new toy that Lou made for me and created these pads. They are glued on the one end, and they will release just like the ones you buy at the store. So they will, and you can take the sheets off that way. But you get 6 sheets of the gray, 6 sheets of the natural, and to give you enough, I was like, a sample, to me, 1 sheet of paper was not a sample going to make, because, you know, you might want to try it out and test some things on it, but then you might want to actually create on it. And then, well, what if you have a happy accident or an unhappy accident? You needed extra. So those are going to be there. Anyone who joins the art supply tier this month, in September, you will be receiving, whoa, as I almost had him slide off and land on the floor. So you will receive one of those from me. And that's anyone who joins this month at any point during the month. I'm like, where can I just don't want to stay sitting. So there we go. That is that. I am liking this paper thus far. And I'm going to be using this for the video I'm doing in Pastels for patrons, as well as a completely separate video with a different medium. I'm going to do charcoal for the ones who can receive for anyone who receives the art supply on the art supply tier. I'm going to be doing charcoal for that one. Will I be using powder blender with my pan pastels? You know what? I have some. I haven't. I wasn't planning on it, but I do have some. If you want to see does it work or how it works, let me know, because I can certainly grab that. Okay. So let's look at pastels on here. If I need to get the natural, I can. There we go. If I need to get the a piece of the natural out so you see that as well, that's not a problem. It's sitting right here beside me. We can do that. So let's look at pencils first. Less mess. Pencils first. So this is, and I'm just grabbing Dioxazine Purple from Derwent. And I'm going to grab, what is that one? Because I want to see how well light over dark, dark over light. Just drop stuff in the comments if there's something that you specifically want me to try, because we are going to do it. Okay. I was trying to just take that little tag off there. So we have, I should go this way because I'm right-handed. I should think that through, huh? So these are, right, so for the pencils, can you guys see that? I'm like, is my other light not on? For some reason, it looks like I have got more, I don't know, the year is changing. It is definitely changing. I'm going to have to be readjusting lights because already I'm starting to see shadows, and hopefully that won't wash anything out. If it starts to, let me know. I can shut that light back off, but it is starting to get dark a lot earlier. Okay, so this is the Derwent Dioxazine Purple. Like, the paper feels very scratchy. Obviously, it's sand grain paper. It's going to, but it doesn't feel like, I'm not putting a lot of pressure, but it is not tearing up my pencil. I'm not getting a lot of dust off of this pencil. You never tried pan pastels or powder blender, so wondering how well they work together. Okay. I have no idea. So there's 2 layers over that. Then I'll go this way and we'll go 3. That would be 4. And now I'm really getting a lot more dust. So you see, we're getting a lot more. So this is 6. All right, and you said you wanted to see blender, which I can actually, I can actually reach because I just moved it. So there's the powder blender from Brush and Pencil. And let me just put pink over there. I want to see. All right. So you said with the powder blender. So the top half, or excuse me, the bottom half I'm going to do with the powder blender. The top half, I'm just going to grab the soft tool. Right, so for the soft tool. Now, if I wasn't wanting to move it beyond where it's at, I could come in with, I have the extra one. It did not come in the set with the colors, but I do have, and it's actually purple there. So I could be a lot more precise with that tip. You can reuse your sponges. Alright, so that's all. Get that blended in. So different ways we can blend. So we have our soft tool. And now if I wanted to clean this off, because it's going into a different color, I could just take and rub that off. You know, you're still going to see some of that color there. But once it's not coming off here, I can go in and use that again. And now we will take a little bit of the powder blender. So there's a little bit on there. I don't have a ton. Those of you who have used it before, let me know. Should I be using more? It definitely, the pink that I had placed on top has been completely blended together. Right now, if I want with the brush and pencil, this just feels like this is much softer feeling versus, yeah, it's a bit softer feeling than even using the soft tool. I can take that and just really move that around. That just keep right on going. There's still plenty more in here. Right, bring that down later. So yeah, it blends it into the paper nicely. As far as going back over top. So hopefully that, I like that. So brush and pencil aside. Okay, definitely lightened the overall up. And then just, no powder blender, just the soft tool. So you're getting similar results. You're getting similar results. In fact, I would say they are so similar. And I noticed I should not have gone in with my contaminated little brush. They're very, very similar. that kind of feels softer. Let me just bring it up. Okay, but as far as your result, your end result, the look is almost the same. If there's something, if you use this product and you're going, no, you didn't do it right, please drop me a comment and let me know, because not only will you be helping me out, someone else who needs the information may also see it and you will be helping them out. So constructive criticism, there's a difference, folks, between constructive and nasty. Constructive criticism is always helpful. And I have a little wastebasket right off the side here. So if you see me kind of take it away and then bring it back, it's because I am just gently dumping it in there. We all know I do not need anything that's going to make me cough. So that is with the soft tool or your powder blender. I would say, though, from looking at it from here, that is a bit lighter. That's a bit lighter. So what about the powder blender versus the colorless blender? Like, I don't know price-wise. I think this is a lot more economical. But are you going to get the same kind of result? And if you are, then my question would be, would you use your brush and pencil one on pastels? I don't know. I may not do something like that. I actually meant to bring a mask upstairs with me, just in case it bothered me having pastels or you working with the pastels, but we'll find out together, won't we? Okay, so let's see. I go over. I'm not going to do as large of an area, but I am going to do 2 areas because I want to show you another thing that you can do. So I wish I would have shown you the tip of this up close before we started to see it now. I mean, it's definitely, I wouldn't say as bad as a sanded paper might, but I mean, it's not going to want to. It can still see the desk, and I have it made to focus the desk. You see, it chews it up a bit, but it's a textured paper. I expect it to. This is not doing something that I don't think it should do. All right. So I'm going to brush this off. I'm going to use the opposite side. I know Lindsay, a good tip that I got from her was that she took, so there's some of the colorless blender. She takes hers and she keeps them like color families. So then she can just grab one from that color family. That's very easy. So that colorless blender, that's really easy. If you felt you needed one. Now, I will say with the pencils, and I can't wait to try the same thing with the soft pastels, because with the pencils, I'm going to bring this down and I'm going beyond the area on purpose so that I can, I wanted to get rid of that dust that was on the paper just by moving it around on the page. Now, your pencils, you see where the pencil laid down. Everywhere where the pencil was, it's still quite gritty. And again, this is only the first layer. I mean, I'd go back over that and keep filling in that tooth. But you see how nice and smooth it is out here where I went beyond. But where the pencil touched, it does that. So my curiosity is, will it also do it And take that soft pastel. So the area where I put the soft pastel down, if I then come back, there's nothing really to blend here, but as far as blending two colors together. I'm not pressing hard because I don't know how much this would tear up your soft tools. So I'm certainly not pressing too hard. Okay. So you see, you're still getting very similar. It's not as prominent as the pencil one, but that could be it was a lighter color too. I mean, this was a darker color too, so you're seeing it more. So it's about the same. So you're gonna keep filling up the tooth of the paper anyway. Okay. There's another way that you can do these. And I'm gonna do all the same. So I'm going to lay down some of this. And again, this is dioxazine purple. Because, fun facts about soft pastels, they're water soluble. Okay, I'm just gonna cover the, yeah, almost like, where did I put it? I'm just gonna cover the colorless blender. So they're water soluble. This is not linked in the description. See, I knew I was forgetting something. I'm just gonna, there we go. I was just making sure that it was working. The water was flowing. I don't want it soaked, but I wanted it damp. Now that is a much different result if you decide you want to go with a water brush. And again, this brush is not very wet. I did make sure that the water was flowing, but then I wiped it on the paper towel. And I can continue. There's some that was in my brush. Okay, but just know if you do this paper, you know, it's not watercolor paper. It's for dry media. It is 98 pounds. Well, my B watercolor paper is only 90 pounds, and it works fantastic. How will this hold up? I'm not sure. There's just a slight pucker from putting that little bit of water. And again, that wasn't a lot of water. But I mean, we'll see how it dries. It's a little more streaky. There's another way. You can also, okay, so this was, I want to mark what these were. So this was water. or the really long name that Joseph has for water. And then this was soft tool. You guys may not be able to read that very well, but brush and pencil blender. And then this one is the pan pastel. Colorless. So you guys will have to let me know, which way do you like to blend pastels the best? And then I have one more. And I wish right now, because I want the name, I can't think of the name. There's another pastel artist. And I can't believe I can't think of her name. I told you I was filling my stuff with the alcohol. You can take alcohol and you do one of two ways. I'll start with this one just because once I do the other, it's gonna make a little bit of chaos. There was a reason I saved this for the bottom of the page. Okay, that's flowing. So with the alcohol, I can come in and blend much like I did with the water. But I think the alcohol is going to dry a lot faster. I need to get, I have a new brush that I want to put the alcohol in. This is not what I want to put it in. I don't care for this brush. It was like some generic no name. I think this was like one of the first brushes I ever received. And again, just like with the water, I can even pull some of that out. It's still in the brush. Okay. Yes. Yes, Cat's Art Picks. He is. He's very... oh, that was not good. Okay. And I'm just cleaning that off. And now, cleaning up the mess that I just made. I have just plain alcohol in here. Rubbing alcohol. It's not that kind of shot glass. This is actually one that I use when I put like ink in it. Does alcohol change the archival quality? I would not think so. I wouldn't think so. You can put the same pigment in alcohol and like to make your own alcohol like ink sprays, so I wouldn't think so. But I could be wrong, but I don't think so. All right, so let's look at one more with the alcohol. But I forgot, I only wanted to do the brush for part of it, and I just got carried away. Just got carried away doing the things. And I know that this works with the soft pastels. I've not done it with this before. With the pencils. Because the pencils are new to me. I actually got pastel pencils first. Pastel pencils came first. I wanted to have them to do highlights and stuff with my watercolor work. That's what got me started. Then I fell in that rabbit hole hard and got all the things. Okay. Again, this is alcohol, and I'm just going to give it a spritz. I've seen this done now with this, with that one there. It didn't really move it around. right? That did not really move it around. I can come in here and go back over that, but now essentially I'm just using the brush. So I'm going to try this one more time. Did you see there? That didn't carry itself over though. It didn't really, somewhat if I, it was almost like it set the, it was almost like it set it and it wasn't really moving. Like it just dampened the whole thing and set it right in place. Those were my little pads of paper. A couple of them anyways. Let me just set those down so that they can't fall and pick these up so I can't damage them. Because they landed nice and flat, which is good because nothing is damaged. Except for maybe one poor little corner of one. Okay. All right. So, would that be a way to set a layer? Well, 7 is pH neutral, so if it's 7, if it's over 7, it's going to be more alkaline than acidic. Yeah, as you go higher. I don't think it's going to affect. So this is already drying. You can see like the paper's already drying. So for the water one, that's still damp. This is already starting to feel like it's dry. Still got a little bit will come off on my thumb. So this here, when I spritzed with that, if I would have left it and not gone back with the brush, it was almost like it kind of set that layer in there. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a fixative. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that like all the dust, anything that was loose, it like fixed it right in spot. That could possibly come in handy. Let me show you where I think that might come in handy. Soft pastel. If I create I'm just going to do this I'm going to try to be quick about it. You guys know where I'm going with this? Okay. This is so much fun. And I'm just going to take my soft tool and come in here and just kind of start in my lightest area and working my way outward. Blend this in. And this is only one layer of pastel. I mean, again, this is just a very quick little example of what came to mind. Okay. So if I have something like that, I'm just gonna like, you'll probably see me clean as I go, just so that if I grab something and I can just go ahead and use it and not be worried about using it. All right. I am going to grab a craft knife. I forgot. I had something I wanted to bring up. Left it downstairs. But I'll just show you that little trick in a different video. Okay. So. Lock it in place so I don't end up, cutting myself. So I'm just going to take this, right? I'm just very, very gently, keyword, scraping. Okay. Now, what if I come back in here? I don't think it matters if it even hits the mountain. And I set it, and we'll wait. We're going to set it and forget it. This lightened back up, and it's very dark right now, but we're going to let that dry and see how does that come back nice and white and light again. Okay, so yeah, very gently cutting my finger. No, I was not cutting my fingers. I was very careful. Don't try this at home, kids. Oh, that's okay. This channel's not for kids. I shouldn't have to worry about any disclaimers. Parents, don't let your children do that unattended. How about don't let your children do that? Okay. So that is really starting to dry. And see, now I do not have dust on this paper. I would not normally just kind of like shake pastel paper or paper with pastel on it. It's starting to dry. It dries very quickly. But it also, no dust. It set it. So it set it in place. And once it dries, everything returns like this one did, returned back to their normal color. Now, anywhere that the dust was out here, if you look, anywhere I had dust out here, see how it fixed it in place? I'm not saying it's a fixative. I'm just saying that the pastel dust I had there reacted with that and stuck to my paper. I'm not saying alcohol is your fixative. I'm like, but use it how you see fit. Okay, I'm going to try to be wanting to try to touch my face so bad. All right. So I don't know if you've seen that before, but I just thought that would be a really neat way. Once you have this all set, I mean, I could come back and I could, splatter my stars with something else. But if I wanted to keep it pastels, it's just pastel, I could use the pastel and work it like that. And that would set those in there. I don't think it's really changing the overall color once it dries. So, I don't know. I'm not going to say take your most precious piece that you absolutely love and you wanted to do something spotted like this and spray it with alcohol and then don't come back and be like, I ruined it because I listened to you. No, I'm just saying I am experimenting right now and I kind of like what I just did. But you don't have to do it unless you want to. So there's that. Another way that I've seen that done, the paper was taped and was on an incline. And enough alcohol was put on that it was like almost running. And the colors were running because there was more pastel on there. Thank you. Thank you both. And I was just like, my first thought, I was like, oh, Steve Mitchell would be so proud, right? Because he was like spontaneous pastel painting where it was like spritzed with the alcohol and running. And I will go back in my watch history and find out the one I am talking about that did this, because I like to give credit where credit is due. This was not, the alcohol was not my idea. I've seen that, and I will tag the artist. I will go back in the comments, or I will put it in the description. Either way, I'm going to make sure that I tag that, because that's not me. That's not all on me. I mean, seeing it here, I was like, oh yeah, we got to do the stars. But I saw somebody else use alcohol with pastels first, and that's what made me go there. Okay. So what else is there anything else that you want to see? Like, what can I do on this paper? We're going to use, I think we're going to use the pan pastel and maybe some soft pastels to do the background. I think I will do the dandelion head in pencil on top afterwards. I don't think that's going to take very long. I'll probably do it right here and do a very small version of it and be fine. It's not going to be a masterpiece. Now layering, oh my gosh, my hands don't want to work today. So if I work on that, I'm just going to do that right here. Let me turn that back on so you guys can see it for a minute. And that way there, while I'm doing this, that'll give anyone a chance to, if they think of a question, ask it and we'll find out. We will find your answer. So right now, I'm just going to do a real quick, almost like a quick value study, if you would. Like, where are I'm not going to worry about the blending, and I just want like where my values are lightest and darkest. I have seen some really interesting things that I think could be done . Now, when I do this quickly like that, so and that's how I think I would be working. I'm like, oh, so careful not to touch my face. When I see the, working quick like that with the soft pastels, there is definitely a lot of dust on this paper right now. I'll bring that up and show it to you in just a moment so you can kind of really see what's going on here. I'm going to want some yellow in here. Some yellows there. Go some darker values through here. That's not dark enough. But I do want this, that tone in there. And I haven't even tested it. I'm just going like, assuming that what I see is what I'm going to get. And pretty much seems to be the case. And you see, I am not being precious about anything. I'm just like throwing it in there. If you saw the last video, I was so worried. I messed that all up. Where I did the water lily. I started working that background and I was like, oh, no, I ruined it. oh, this is going to be horrible. What am I going to do now? This is never going to come out. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And I was just like, panic stations. I'm not disappointed. I think it actually, I worked through it, which I love. And that's why I just continue to abuse myself when I end up with alcohol markers in an art box. Because eventually I will get that medium. And it'll just be like, oh, why didn't I think of that before? But, okay. Now, I'm going to take a new one. And I'm going to work. Again, I'm going to blend. I could also use the chamois. Remember that chamois I got with the charcoal? I could use that here too. So, that just like, yeah. I'm going to say there's not enough of that white on there. Or whatever that white was that I grabbed is very transparent. I don't know. It almost like disappeared. And all I'm doing is looking at that reference photo and trying to get a basic. I feel like I would just want to like mix this with my fingers. Which I see so many people do. And I have to say, if we're worried about archival qualities, I would say that that would be worse for my painting than the alcohol. Just my opinion, but I know tons of people that work in pastels and their finger is one of their best tools. And I really don't think that even the masters, when they worked with pastels, were like, oh, can I have a rag, please? Somebody have a chamois. Bet you their fingers were all up in that work. So there is a lot, like even trying to work a lot of this where the, I had the dust into this paper. Is this normal? I don't know. I will definitely have to compare with like another paper or something doing the same kind of thing. Because there's still a lot of dust. Yeah, the green is like definitely bright. I don't want to go too far into here because I need to keep that light, which supposedly I can just go right back on top. Let's see. You know what? Let's see. I'm going to just dab this. Look at that. Just dab that off on there. Come back in here. And if I get some of the green in there, fine. I'm going to go back over it again with another layer. But my question is, if I can't get this dust to work into the tooth of this paper, how's it going to layer? Like, I can move that about. Did I put too much? I don't know, but when I move that about, it's not like... Like, see, I have a lot of the dust here. A lot of the dust here. And this is definitely not, smooth yet. Yes. Oh, that's a great idea, Tara. Get your hands on a little tub with a lid and collect the fallout. Custom color. Yes. Well, the bottoms of each of these. See, the bottoms of... well, that's actually... titanium white. But the bottoms of these actually are containers. So. Ah, yeah, see? What would the colorless blender do there? Well, we should find out. I need to get a towel that's just for dealing with the pastel. So the colorless blender. And I'm not worried if I get green in my colorless blender. I can just take a clean tool and pull any of it back out if I got any. But I pretty much wiped that off well. Alright. So there's our colorless blender. And I'm going to put down a little bit more. I want to try to brighten this area up, because this is brighter in that reference photo. We need to lighten this area down here up too. I don't know. Actually, it definitely gives you a much smoother result. And again, I'm not worried if I get a little bit of green on the top of this. You see, it's got, like, it's lifted a lot of that color up. But I can come back. Try not to touch my face. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'll grab some of the soft pastel. Because, I mean, it's still taking the pastel. I can still put this down. No problem there. So I'm wondering if I use the pan pastels, if it'd be a little bit better. And there's another part of me that wonders if I just use my finger, I wouldn't be bringing up as much of the pastel back off the page that, you know, the soft tool's picking up. Is talking about oh, that's sad. 70, it's 71 degrees. Yeah, that's sad too. 71 degrees. You know. I just saw that Queen Elizabeth has passed. I peeked up to look at my device. That is like, let's move my chair back so I can get forward. We're getting there. It needs to be darker. Let's look at, and let's see, what do we have as far as, that's not the one I wanted to unscrew. I wanted to see what was below that. Look at that blue. Wow, that's like electric. Yeah, that one. Just show you what the colors are that are in this set too. Right. Ooh, look at, there we go. That, I want that green. I'm gonna take that out of the loop. Oh, I think I want both of those. Look at that. I'll put those with the reference photo there. I like those. I'm gonna just leave them right there. You also have the red, right, which is permanent red. This color, that's beautiful. And that one was red iron oxide. Then we have this pink. So again, these are the colors that are in the painter set. And that one is, that one was magenta. So now this one, the purple. Come on now. That is called violet, and that blue is ultramarine. And then we have titanium white right here. Neutral gray is going to be the next one. Right there. Which is very close to, look at our paper. The gray off the paper. Yeah. Right. That, yes, George. I'm going to put that back up on the... Oh, and then I didn't even read... I'm pretty sure that this is black. Yeah, see, you have black. So you have titanium white, and you have black, and you have the medium gray. So you can mix your tints and your shades and your darks, and so then you have raw umber. I just thought that this was a really good starter set of pan pastels. There's your raw umber. And then burnt sienna, of course, is the one that's right here on top. Then in addition, and George, let me get that before that goes away on me. Yes, I've heard that too. All right, so this is bright yellow green. Ooh, this may be one we are going to want also. Look, ooh, look at that. I want to see how that one is. Then we have Hansa yellow. That is very bright. Very bright. Okay, and then, oops, I didn't tell you the color. After Hansa yellow, then it came Dairy Lied yellow. So the Dairy Lied yellow is that one, which is also pretty intense. And orange, of course, was the top. So there you go. I'm going to leave these here. We're going to use some of these. Let's use some pan pastels. I'm going to grab a different, actually my green, I can still keep using my green. I don't need a different one for this. So this will be layer number 3. And I'm going to put in some more of the yellow. And again, if any of the top of this got another color in it, I could just clean that right off. So you just take a soft tissue or something like that if I wanted to and clean that right off. And and I'm seeing what you guys are saying. Now I'm seeing it on my monitor here. My monitor here in the studio is like very bright. Like this is almost intense yellow, like in this area. And the thing is, I have to get my background squared away and still leave enough tooth to be able to put on top the dandelion head. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of this blender too. And I had, let's look at the pan pastels. Maybe on the stack. Yep. Yeah. No. I left the gray attached. I wanted the titanium white. I don't want the medium gray. I just want to see versus the Mungyo soft pastel versus the pan pastel. And yes, I'm going right in with my green one. I'm not worried about it. I can clean this off later. And I definitely I could see me really enjoying the pan pastels. So again, this is the titanium white, and I'm not worried about getting that in there. And then right on that fringe on the bottom, it almost looks a little like a cooler green, right? In this area right here. Have you started working on the new studio space yet, Tara? Are you still working on getting the house settled? Orange. You just want to neutralize orange? George, do you have advice on that? Because you do a lot of the skin tones. In fact, you're working on a portrait right now. So if you have advice, let me pop that up here for Francisco Hernandez. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to pop that right there. In fact, I need to move that up just slightly so we can see all of your information. There we go. George, I'm kind of putting you on the spot. Because I read that question and how do I negate the orange skin tone? Because painting a person at night, blue sky, not realistic person, but a cartoon or anime character. Can you neutralize the orange with blue? I don't know. George, I'm going to, because I do not do a lot of portrait. I do not do a lot of people. And I'm assuming, I don't want to assume. I read that question as if, how would you neutralize something that was orange? And if I have blue in the painting, then I might use blue as it's complementary. But I'm going to see if George has an answer for us too, because George does some great people. His cowboy he just did was amazing. He's currently working on portraits. If you don't follow George Pencil Art, check him out on Instagram or right here on YouTube. This is definitely getting a bit more of that kind of blurred out look I was going for. Have you guys been keeping track? We at 5 layers now. I don't know if you guys can hear that lawnmower. I hope not. It never fails. And I think I want to bring a little bit of, nope, not that one. This guy right here. Which is the raw umber. Okay, just so you know what color I'm using. That's the raw umber. Oh, thank you. George, it's George Pencil Art. He should be in the chat. He was in the chat. George, if you can hear my voice, can you pop a comment up there? Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit more. You see, I know I'm getting these like filthy, but again, I'm not worrying about that. I will clean them all up after. And now I'm going to do a little bit of a final blend on this background. Yeah, I like raw umber too. Yeah, Francisco, I'm not seeing something from George at the moment, but I know he was on his phone. So there's George Pencil Art. There we go. Thank you, George. I have used an orange. I mix as a medium skin tone, so adding more white is one option. Right? Test paper, add tiny bits of blue as it's complementary. It should, in theory, tone down the color. Thank you so much, George. I hope that answered your question and helped you out there, Francisco. And that is George of George Pencil Art, if you want to check him out. I'm like trying to be careful because I'm trying to move. That's trying to move the dark into where I want to keep it light. So it's definitely being conscious when you're blending, what you're blending from, where you're blending to. Just coming back and making sure that this stays nice and light the way I want it to. Tara, you said you do like the soft pastel sticks. I feel like it could use a little bit more of like that brighter green, but I think my dark values aren't really dark enough. So we're going to grab some raw umber. We're going to just try to darken this up a little bit. And I'm going to come right back in with the other green. This one right here. And again, these are from the painter set. The set of 20 soft pan pastels. The link is in the description. And I just thought it was such a really great color range. Okay. Now I think we're just going to kind of go with it for now. I can certainly keep working this and get my darker values darker. But again, today was about testing these out, layering and seeing how they took to the paper. More about that, less about perfect painting. Well, soft and pastel, hard pastels. But pan pastels, not for you. Well, there you go. That was some of the colorless blender. And if you didn't see what I was doing there, see how it's light on both sides? As I was pushing out, I'm keeping it tipped at like a 45-degree angle so I can keep the light in towards the center. And instead of pulling back this way, which would deposit that dark backwards, and then tipping it 45 degrees the opposite direction and pulling that out. And now it doesn't matter. I'm going to get right into the darker areas anyway. And really, I don't have a ton of dust still sitting here on this paper. A lot of that has just blended right in. So that was about 5 or 6 layers. And clearly I'm going to be able to do more because I have to put the, I'm going to do that in the pencils, the dandelion head on, so that we can see how does this keep going. So I'm going to just stack these back up. I put the bottom of this one on top. Like, wait a minute. Yellow, that goes together. I don't even know which way they were. It doesn't matter. Those greens over there go on top of that green one. They like to cross thread. I want to say that, which is driving me crazy because I'm trying to screw them back together. And if you don't get them lined up just right, they want to cross thread. And I could see myself like breaking one of these. So I'm definitely, I can tell you, mine will end up in a palette. Mine are going to end up in the palette. That like cinched it for me right there. Because that's going to make me bonkers. I would just have to figure out if I want to get 2 small palettes, because you can always move them around, so you could do that. Faber-Castell. Okay, I want to just double check. I want to check in. Oh, Dylan, thank you so much for sharing. Let me just pop that up on there. So there you go. It is linked in the description below. So if that is something, the painter set is something that you're interested in, do check them out. It comes with soft tools. You get the covers for the soft tools. You are going to get the little applicators for blending. You're going to get some of the wedges. You also get the sponge, and then you get these two handles. Okay, so if that is something, the painter, and that is the painter set, the pure pigments, the pure colors, right? And that's what that looks like. It's got the apple on it. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, definitely check that out if there are only a few left. And I'm sure they'll come back, but we can never guarantee what the price is going to do. Or how long something will be discounted, because they change all the time. All right. So for my, I need to move this palette. Let's just set this stuff back behind me. So I can set this. I'll set it down there. Again, anyone that, if you missed that, anyone who becomes a patron this month on the art supply sample tier, these are this month's sample is this paper, and I have made up these little books. I just did these today, and they are pads, and you get both you get the natural and the gray, so they're plenty for you to do some projects, and this like at least 5x7 size on the paper. All right, so I'm just going to sketch this in. This is the Derwent Saffron, and I am just going to real quick give a little sketch. It comes up to about here. I don't think you guys have ever seen me just sketch something in that has not. I think everything I usually have done ahead of time with line work. You'll get to see. I really can do it. Let me see. And then this one is the Derwent Burnt Ochre. I'm just building up the values that I'm seeing of that dandelion head. This would be the stalk of the dandelion. And I may have to go to... Oh, this is burnt carmine. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. I was going to say, I may have to grab one of the Stabilo to get the... Yeah, we're definitely going to want some green in there. And this one is the emerald green. Not really the green I think I want. Well, I do have one line here. Oh, my chat is not rolling. My chat did not move. You're liking this paper? Yeah, so far I am liking it. Oh, okay, Cat's Art Picks. I hope you feel better. Thank you, Tara. Have a great weekend, Cat's Art Picks. Okay, and I'm just going to check a couple of these colors real quick from the Derwent line. I can open the Stabilos if I need to. Ionian green. I'm like, what does that say? Oh yeah, there we go. So the Ionian green. That's going to help me get some of that in there. forest green. That is definitely too cool of a green. I don't want that. And cobalt turquoise. Oh, that's gorgeous. Not a color I need right now, but gorgeous. Okay, so Ionian green it is. Don't need the yellow. Naples yellow. Yeah. Okay. Up at the very top, it's really darker. The green is much darker. And then we have my white is already here. This is the titanium white. So up above, right, head of that there. And there are little tiny dots on that. Where the seeds are attached before they go flying off. And then this gets a little more green. I'm just going to blend that out. And I know I had green on the other side of this. So I'm just going to flip that over. Now this one is not in the painter set. The pointed one, you will get if you order the set of 4 soft tools. Okay. And then that has more. And they kind of make a pattern. They kind of alternate in between each other in rows. And then from there, we get the parts. And I'm just going to kind of do these kind of quickly. And I'm not worried about if these are exact to our reference. I'm not going for photorealism. Maybe part of that stem was in there. And I want to see if I have a... I don't really. Well, I use the carmine, the burnt carmine. I just want to kind of come in here and darken these out. I probably have in the Stabilo set something I'd be looking for to darken this up. But I'm just going to kind of layer these two together versus grabbing that box and trying to open it because we're almost done. It's just a quick little study to see, can we keep layering? So by doing the colors layered on top of each other, I think that's also helping us figure that out. And then our little seed is kind of stuck on top here. And it's much darker at the very top. And just layering that burnt carmine, which is a red value, with the Ionian green, I'm getting a nice dark value that I like. And then I actually want to come in with, like, where'd it go? I should have just, oh, it is right here. Oh. This one was the Naples Yellow. To kind of give that. And I don't have a sharp point on this. That would make life much easier. Okay, and now we have a very bright, yet it is yellow, leaning out. Right, and it's lighter than that. And this one is process yellow. I'm just going to go right back over my line. There we go. And now I want it even lighter. So now I'm going to brighten that up with the white and just hopefully blend the three together. There we go. And then our little wisps. So the ones that go to the back are pretty short. And they're not as prominent. So I'm pressing much lighter. And then we'll start to have the ones that come out like this. And the ones that come out kind of curve slightly. And I'm into my white, but this is not as wide as it should have been for this reference. I should have had this over here more versus where I started drawing him in, but that's fine. And then I'm going to work my way around. And they definitely are resonating from, you know, the one central point. And here is certainly where I need to refine the point. So another way that I can refine that point is just to grab one of these blocks. And I could have done that too for like the stars. I could have come up through here, and if I go over this at an angle, you're going to see those shavings are falling off, and I'm actually getting finer stars on the top part. And then of course I could give that another spritz and kind of put those in their place. So that's just real quick, like, let me see, I didn't do a whole lot, but I definitely refined a point there. I keep setting them down. Usually I have a bin that I set right here, like my butcher's palette, and I'll just set them in it. So this is a time too that I think you could even use, like if you use the brush and pencil products, has anybody used the touch up texture and titanium white on something like that to get that really bright white? Okay. It is not as bright white as I want it to be. What other things would I grab? I would grab my General's white charcoal pencil, which is not here. It's sitting because I just moved that tray I was talking about. I literally just moved it to the other side. Because I'm working on that. I'm working on the charcoal piece. for patrons tomorrow that's actually going to be on this, that goes along with the art supply sample. So, yeah. I don't have it sitting here at the desk right now. Let me just bring that up there. So we did quite a few layers. It's not exactly the same, but we know what it is. I certainly could have worked that even more. Let me just pop over here now so we just have our picture. Okay, now you can see more of the mess on the desk. That's what I needed earlier to see more. I could not get that view to show correctly. But there we go. Where I did the stars, more stars. You see there, see the really fine ones? I got smaller ones doing it that way. As far as the alcohol, we see what color this is now because we're paying attention to it. And actually, there's some dust. I'm just going to gently, I don't want to set that as little specks. When I picked it up and tipped it, a little bit from the dark came down. So I'm just kind of lifting that off. Okay. So now, wow. I got a little bit of that white there too. Okay. Well, there you go. And those, I have those linked in the description below. They are lovely. So you see when I really missed that with the alcohol, I mean, it just, look at how our colors. But I did that so we can let this sit while we're wrapping up here. And we'll see how much does that go back to its lighter color. Or did that alcohol fix it? You know what I mean? Like, did the alcohol change its value? Because I think that is very important. Oh, well, thank you, D-Lynn. So, D-Lynn had said Derwent, the Derwent ones, these ones, which are wonderful. I'm very much liking them. And like I said, I got these to do highlights and different things with my watercolors. I wasn't even thinking let's do pastel art when I started. When I'm always window shopping. There is always stuff in my cart, and I'm like I'm ready to go at a moment's notice. I was just talking to Lou about a supply that was in one of my carts that went on sale, a deal like that, and I was like, oh, it's on sale, and it's just, when you look at your cart and it goes, you've saved, and the number is over $600 that you've saved, but I hadn't actually even spent $200 if I would have checked out and bought it, what was in my cart. So I was like, oh, guess what? According to Jerry's, I should buy my stuff now. And anyways, long story short, I have some more stuff coming. I don't know if that's what was delivered today or if my pastel holder was delivered, but I don't know. So you see, look at it. It's definitely returning to that lighter value. This is still, because that got a heavier spray, so that's not quite dry yet, but I didn't even finish. I didn't miss the sky. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm just like, when can I get this? But I will say, like, I don't, your credit card. But yeah, I don't actually, I save for it and I get it and then it's gotten. Although Jerry's is wonderful because they're like, oh, would you like to check out with your Amazon account? Oh, why, yes, I would, Jerry. Thanks. That one I have to settle up with once a month. Amazon, I settle up with once a month. But I definitely like how I can do that, and I can like put some of that on top and then just give a spritz to set it without blending it in. So like at the very end, I really like that. This is still, still drying, but I do think you guys can be the judge. Did it lighten itself back up? Check the replay. You'll be like, rewind. jump forward, rewind, jump forward, look at the now, then, now, then, now. I can't do that for you, sorry. So this was quite a few layers. I mean, that was at least with getting our dandelion stem and the head of that in here. That had to, were you counting, George? It had to be at least 8. I've got a little bit of dust on here. I just want to be gone. Just letting it into the barrel. And I think it could still take more. There was a lot of dust on the paper, but it just really incorporated in as I started blending that. I am liking this paper so far. So far, I definitely have to say, we know how I feel about the other Canson XL that shall not be mentioned. I don't feel that way about this one. The watercolor paper can't handle how I do watercolor. I'm not saying it's a bad paper. I'm saying it can't handle how I do my watercolor. But this one, the dry mixed media paper, even that, like I spritzed it with the alcohol and you see, like I have a little bit of curl. It just curled slightly when I spritzed it. It did that little curl up. Because you see that, like, the edge is lifted. It's pretty minimal. You know what I mean? That's pretty minimal. And now I wonder, now that I did that, can I come back now and get these that I wanted to be brighter? I'm just kind of going right back over where I had set them. I've lost the point on my pencil, so I'm trying to be careful. I would say yes. So after I spritz, let it dry. There's another layer. There's another layer. And it still, I think, can take some more. So, from here, the stem looks barely noticeable. Yeah, the stem is blended in a lot. The stem needs, like, there should be a highlight that's coming down this side. You should have more of a highlight down over here. And it could definitely use a bit more to bring that back. Right. And I was looking, there's my green. Bring that yellow down this side. Standing out a little bit more now. But there you go. So does anybody have any other questions about this paper or for pastels? If you're watching this on the replay and you missed us live and you do have a question, drop it in the comments. If I know, I will answer you. And if I have a chance, I will test it out and then get back to you. Let's see. Oh, I agree. See, are you talking about the window shopping for art? Window shopping is very inexpensive. It's when you slip and hit that buy now button. I don't know what happened. I was trying to scroll. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. All right. So there you have the Canson XL mixed media. Again, if you have considered Patreon, the art supply sample tier this month is actually getting sample of this paper. So if that's something that interests you and you have been considering it, maybe now's the time. We have paint along tiers where you get a video every month that you can paint along to. Where I work in all kinds of mediums, just like I explore all kinds of mediums here on the channel. We also, this, I can touch it because it's in the sleeve. This painting right here was the one that I just did. This was watercolor. This is Daniel Smith watercolor. And this is available to everyone on my, even those who join for the live chats that we do, which will be tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So this one everybody got. Usually those are quarterly videos that go along with the reference photos on our reference photo tier. If you like to get reference photos to use in your art, we have that as well. So there's kind of something for everybody, and you know, whatever's best for you. The link, of course, is going. Oop, there it went. There it went. And then the art groups. If you're not in one of our art groups, Facebook or MeWe, whichever platform, or join both. We would love to have you in both locations. I do post things in both places. You won't miss something if you don't join both. But if you're already in both and you want, that's entirely, go for it. I like to have the two because then if anything happens with either platform, we're still there. So there's where you can find me. Huge thank you to Tara. I haven't seen Joseph in a little bit, but I am guessing that he is probably not right next to his phone because I know he is in the middle of an installation for upgrading his system at his place. So thank you to both mods. Their links are in the description. If you have not checked out their channels yet, please do so. Tara has some wonderful videos. We've done a couple collaborations, and that was lots of fun. Joseph streams every Monday, so if live streams are something you enjoy, Monday, same time as myself, if you're not already familiar with Joseph's channel. And I mod, so I'm in the chat chatting with all of you then. So definitely check out the mods. I appreciate everything that they're doing for me. Thank you to all of you who are tuning in every week and joining us in the chat, because I love to all the subscribers who have joined and chat with us. Thank you. I have so much fun. This makes my week. I'm like, I don't care what I'm doing. I don't even know if I know what I'm doing, but I know I'm going live because I like hanging out with all of you, and the community that is growing here is just, you guys are wonderful. Thank you very much for all of your support. So tomorrow I will see patrons in chat. Working on a video for next beginning of the week. I don't want to say, I've been leaning towards Tuesday, but beginning of the week, I am working on another video for you guys. And then, of course, I will see you right back here on Thursday. So if you missed it and that is something you're interested in, that's part of this is the art supply sample that you're going to get this month if you are a member over on Patreon in that tier. Okay. That's all the business. I'm going to put another video up. Well, right about there where that little guy is pointing. We'll put a video up right there that you might like to watch next if you're watching this on the replay. And till next time, keep creating, and I will see you in a video real soon. Bye, guys.